The votronic control panel. It's quite a simple panel. There's quite a bit of information on there if you access it, but the basics are you have a 12 volt on-off switch. This will allow you to turn on or off your pump electrics and the heater. So the heater won't work with this switched off or if the ignition is on. So we'll switch the 12 volt on when we're camping. That's the first thing we do. We've then got the board starter battery sign. Board is your leisure battery. Press it and it's going to basically go through a few different sort of visuals. First thing it comes up with is the voltage of the leisure battery. It's basically telling us that it's on charge because we've got the solar panels running, and it's currently getting a charge, but it's reading 12.9 to 13 volts. With it on the charge setting, or the voltage setting, if we toggle on the left hand arrows, voltage 13, 12.9, amps, it's basically getting a charge from our solar charge controller of 8.3 amps. If you're on electric hookup, it would give you the charge from the electric hookup. If you're driving, it'll give you the charge from the alternator. It's telling us that we've got 163 amps or amp hours left in our battery bank. Our battery bank is a 220 amp bank of 2 batteries. That tells us it's 74% full. So we're back to the voltage screen. If we toggle onto the starter battery, it just displays the voltage at the starter battery. At the moment it's 12.6. There is the facility within the votronic triple to actually pass some of that charge over to the starter battery once the leisure battery has received its the bulk charge. So it wouldn't be on a very sunny day when you're driving, it would be common to see the starter battery higher than 12.6. The additional gauges here are water level gauge. You've got a tap sign, which is fresh water, a bucket sign, which is your wastewater. They're both pretty much empty at the moment, so fresh 4%, empty 4%. Then you've got inside and outside temperature. Inside temperature 10.6. The lower sign is the outside temperature, 8.4 degrees. Then we've got the solar controller. So if we turn on to solar, it's basically telling us there, we've got the sun sign up in the left hand corner, it's basically telling us that we've got 11.8 amps being generated from the solar panels. We can now toggle here, 50 amp hours being generated, 709 watts per hour. It's currently producing 161 watts of solar power, which we've got 2 150 watt panels on here, so that's not bad considering it's about 11 o'clock and the angle of the sun isn't brilliant to the van. And back to the amps, it's generating 11.6 amps, so we've got really good solar generation from the setup. And then you've got the other thing you've got on the control panel is the pump. So basically we'll turn the pump on. You can hear it pressurizing perhaps in the background. Because there's not much water in the tanks and they're virtually empty, I'm going to turn it off because it's probably trying to drag an airlock through. But basically you can turn the pump on. If the 12 volt side of things was off, if I turn that off, there's a little click from a relay in the back which turns off. Now if I press the pump sign, nothing happens. It's basically trying to turn on, but it's telling me that it needs the 12 volt on first. the same would be due for the heating. If we tried to turn the heating on, you can see that the heater panel has gone into a fault mode, because it's basically telling us that, you know, look, you're not going to be able to turn me on because there's no 12 volt going to it, which is fine. That's no problem. Once we put the 12 volt back on, that fault code will disappear. Just wait a couple of seconds for the click. Fault code when we liven up the panel should disappear. There you go, no fault code. So it would allow you to run the heating.